Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time can't have consistent good news. Yes, we get a victory against Crystal Palace in a 2-1 victory at Stamford Bridge, but Romeo Lavia, who made his return yesterday, looks set to be injured, and Mauricio Pochettino's words are, "I'm worried." Then we need to talk about Nicolas Jackson. It looks like Chelsea, as directors, have made up their mind. They're going in for another forward, another number 9. We're linked with 2 individuals. Victor Gilchrist, who apparently is ruled out, and the second one is Benjamin Sesko. And all of a sudden, everybody wants Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig. We're going to break it down. Is he good enough? Do we need him now? Should we wait for Osimhen in the summer? Should we wait for Tony in the summer? Should we stick with Jackson? And one thing about Brio that, in my opinion, needs to be accepted. And finally, Gilchrist came on yesterday, and when I tell you I loved that kid from the moment I saw him, I mean it. This guy is 20 years old, and he couldn't wait to start bossing people around. We're going to break down his debut, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on why players of that magnitude are integral for Chelsea Football Club. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I want to say thank you very much for this year and everybody that watched. We have hit 2.4 million views in 2023. So if you guys want to help this channel grow even further, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. We're aiming for 1,000 likes on this video. In the comments below, let me know what number like you were. It's a great way for me to track which one of you are fully enjoying the content or not. And finally, if you're new, subscribe. We are literally 30 away from 31.8. That would be a great achievement, great target to carry on moving. Now let's move on with the video. It looks like Romeo Lavia is injured again. Yes, I can imagine all of you are groaning and all of you are just going, not again, not this again. Because the reality is we have waited so long to see Romeo Lavia, and it took half an hour to get an injury out of a player that is so integral, so pivotal to this team. Romeo Lavia for me is the number 6 that everyone's been begging for the last 5 years. He's the individual that's just going to sit there, win the ball back, play it to the side. And the beauty of him is he's got the technical attributes to go and play in the 8, play in the 6, and also play the ball if he needs to. He can receive the ball and build attacks. He can play tiki-taka. He can go long. He is a phenomenal young prospect. And not only is he a prospect for the future, he's a prospect for now. He literally can come into this team and develop and contribute from the outset. We saw it at Southampton. Across games, he was contributing and he was the star in the team. Yesterday he came on, and after the game, Pochettino said, "It looks like he's hurt again, and I'm very worried." And this is a bad news. Mauricio Pochettino saying those words for me is panic. And I need to ask now, why did you bring him on? Because yes, it's very easy to play Monday morning quarterback. Yes, it's very easy for me to say, oh my God, why did we have to risk it? You've waited this long to give him opportunity. Was he that integral yesterday? Did we really need to bring him on yesterday? Because the reality is, you brought him on to stop Elise because you moved Gusto to the other side so that we could double up on him if needed. But we didn't need that at that moment in time. We needed to go for the throat. We needed to go for the head, as Thor said. And the reality is, we've risked him, and now he looks to be injured. There is no set time period. We need to wait for the press conference to get a defined answer tomorrow. But I am very worried because Pochettino did not sound convincing at all. Nathan Gessling came out and said it's another thigh injury. Reports are coming out that this is not great. And I'm annoyed. I'm genuinely annoyed. The number 9 conundrum at Chelsea has been going on as long as I can think. Whether it was Didier Drogba coming in at the outset and not banging, but then after a certain period of time becoming the fan favourite and becoming the king, or Diego Costa being the only one to hit the ground running and just reclaiming the throne, but only working part-time because he only would score all of his goals in the first 20 Premier League games and then take the other half off. Or it was Olivier Giroud being a bit part player, then Baba, and then we had the Falcaos, Patos, Torreses that just heavily underachieved. Now we've gone down a different avenue. We've got Nicolas Jackson and Armando Brio. And it's fair to say both of them are giving us mixed reviews. So we're going to take the Jackson element first and we're going to talk about him, and then that will explain why we're going in to sign another striker this January and why we're being linked with everybody and their nan basically. So the reality is, Jackson is nowhere near the finished product. And I think I speak for everyone when I say he is very, very underwhelming with his finishing. Nicolas Jackson's finishing is actually poor. Like, there's no other way to describe it. However, Nicolas Jackson's build-up play, in my opinion, is years above his age. He builds up play, he controls the ball, and runs at defenders and holds them off and then picks the pass out as if he's a 27, 28-year-old player in his prime. And what I don't appreciate is match-going fans. I understand you pay your money, you go to the game, you want to enjoy the game, and you want to see a certain level of performance. I think they haven't realized the type of level that we're at. Being upset at somebody for not being Didier Drogba when they're never going to be Didier Drogba even in their prime makes you the fool, not him. Because you're setting expectations on this individual that are never going to be reached. It's like having a kid and you know this kid, the best he can do even if he studies every single day is get a C grade in maths. But you're expecting him to get an A. You're setting the kid up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure and you're just getting frustrated for no reason. This kid is never going to get an A. And this is exactly what happened with Jackson. Yesterday, Jackson, in my opinion, had a decent game. Jackson was 2 finishes away from people waxing lyrical saying, oh my God, look how beautiful that finish was. We have got a great striker on our hands. Jackson scored a goal where he was literally a kneecap offside, which was a beautiful finish. And he also missed a one-on-one. And like I said in my review yesterday, which you can go and watch, Jackson missed that one-on-one due to the fact that I believe every time he goes through one-on-one now, he's thinking, do not miss the target, do not miss, rather than I'm going to slot this. And that is a problem. For me, I'm happy with Jackson. I'm not saying he should be our starter, but off the bench, cup games, I'm very happy with Jackson in rotation to be our player. Brio, on the other hand, Armando Brio is coming off an ACL. Armando Brio has played a few games, and for me, Brio looks like a player that is severely lacking in confidence, and more importantly, that is lost. Brio came on yesterday. I had no clue what his impetus is. Low blocks, he's struggling. His ability to control the ball under tight places is so far behind Jackson, it's ridiculous. What I thought he had was the finishing and the letting it rip early. He's struggling. Honestly, I feel really harsh on saying this, but if a bid of around about 35 to 40 million pound comes in for Armando Brio, I'm letting him go. I know he's a Cobham graduate. I know people love him. I know people believe that he could develop into a top striker, and people are going to say, look at Solanke. We took Solanke till 27 years old. I ain't got time to be waiting for Brio. Brio needs to contribute now, and I don't feel like he is. And if it means we move him and Trevor Chalobah on and Ian Martin on to meet FFP regulations and enable us to spend to make the squad even stronger, so be it. Because I'll be honest, I do not think Brio's future in the next 2 to 3 years is at Chelsea Football Club. That's my personal opinion. Who have we been linked with? Well, Simon Johnston from The Telegraph has said that we've been linked with Victor Gilchrist for a minute now. It looks like Chelsea are not paying that money. The player doesn't want to leave in January. Sporting basically said, you want him, you're doing the Benfica thing. You're coming in and you're paying the whole bag up front. 100 million euros all in. Come through. And Chelsea don't want to do that. And I don't blame them, because how do you pay 100 million euros for an individual that's had 18 Liga NOS games? How do you do that? He's played 18 top flight games, and you're trying to tell me a Sporting Lisbon striker is ready to come into the Premier League when his whole career was spent in League One and the Championship? I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. Avoid it. Under every circumstance, avoid it. The next name that we're being linked with is Benjamin Sesko. So for those of you that don't know Benjamin Sesko played for Salzburg, and he also is now currently a Leipzig player. So he's been really in the RB model. He's done his fair share. He scored 29 goals in 79 games for Salzburg. Then he moved to Leipzig. And now at this moment in time in Leipzig, he's got 7 in 22. So 7 goals in 22. 1 in 3 rate. He's not ready to lead the line at Chelsea. Like, I genuinely do not think this would be the smart signing to make. Especially if Nkunku is not going to hit the ground running. I genuinely think, whilst the talent is there, we need to decide what we want to be. If you're going to bring him in, and then this is a stopgap signing because Brogier's leaving, and next year you're going to go in for an Victor Osimhen, and then you're going to tell me that Osimhen is going to be the number 1. Sesko's versatility enables him to play in behind or be the cover. Jackson can play on the left wing or be cover. And then you literally are building out the squad from there. Okay, I get it. But I want to know what this fee is. This fee is going to be ridiculously expensive. Leipzig are not going to sell him very cheap. I know he hasn't started many games this year for them. So the question is, what makes you think he'll come to Chelsea and bang? That is the problem. And he is on Chelsea's list. They're going to look at him in January, and I'm very worried. The final one is about Alfie Gilchrist, right? And this guy is a centre-back that's made it out of Cobham. He's 21 years old, and he really left an impression on me yesterday. And you know what was really nice to see? Leadership quality. You know, it's something that football players these days really like. Everyone's very quiet. Everyone's very chill. This guy came on amped up. Hey, I'm shouting straight away. Leadership qualities. You don't see that from kids these days. Like, he was a man amongst boys, even though he was the younger one. He was bossing. He was telling Disasi what to do. I was like, raw. I like this. I really like this because for me, I think the team is too quiet at the moment. They're too nice. He did not care. First tackle crunch, second tackle crunch, shouting, yelling at people, getting position, and all this stuff is maintaining standards for me. Yes, I want more from him in the sense that I want to see a sample size of what kind of baller he is. He looks very, very small at this moment in time, but I think he's going to bulk up. He's 20 years old. He's definitely going to bulk up. And for me, it's something that we're going to have to see how it develops. People are going to say, oh my God, Alex, but he doesn't really look technically gifted. Nonsense. He came through Cobham, right? 9 out of 10 players that come through Cobham are technically gifted because most of them have been playing the Chelsea way in the sense that Chelsea at youth group level pop that ball around quickly, especially they used to when the academies that he's come from. We literally develop technical ballers and physically imposing ballers. So we need to be realistic. Don't put a lot of pressure on this kid. Let him develop, let him get minutes here and there. Hopefully we see him a little bit more if needed. If not, then so be it. But I don't want to see Disasi at right back. Guys, this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed it. If you want to see the reasons that I want Chelsea to move on from Mauricio Pochettino, there's 6 reasons why Chelsea are considering to sack Mauricio Pochettino. There's a link right here. The other match review from yesterday's game, and it breaks down the whole match in nice little increments for you guys over here. Thank you for watching. Go and make sure you watch some more content. Peace out. I'm out. Hit the like button on the way out.